Hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Lucia. In the last video, I made a journal cover, and that was supposed to be a full video, but I decided to break it up into two in case you weren't interested in learning how to cover, but rather interested in how to create the lay flat journal. So continue watching if you want to learn how to do that. This is pretty simple, easy. Basically, what we're going to do is put little tabs underneath, and we're going to go from 1 to 3 tabs to 2 tabs, 3 and 2. You'll see as I go on. I will do a few with you. Well, if you're doing this, but what I mean is I'll do a few. This is pretty straightforward. I will show you here. I'll put a little tab here, and then one here. I should maybe have pre-cut these little pieces of tape, but it's okay. Another one here, and one right here. Now remember, this particular page is going to be stuck on here. That's what I should have done to this sheet that I put on the cover. Now I grab another piece of paper, and for this one I'm going to put a tab here, here, and here. So basically every page before that is going to work as an anchor for the next page. If you have smaller paper, then maybe you'll use less tabs. So like now there'll be that in between. The first time I saw this done, I was a bit confused. I'm like, wait, what's happening? But okay, so now that we have this first page here, the tabs that we put in first will latch on to this paper. This one belongs to the top paper, so here we go, here we go, and there you go. Now the next one. The next one is back to 1 tab, 1 tab, 1 tab, 1 tab. As you can see, it's every other one. And basically what you end up with is a journal that lays flat. Also, if you get confused with which tabs went where, then you can change your tape. So you don't get confused. All right, so now here, the way I'm going to attach that one is the tabs from the paper underneath. Now our next paper, and I have these pre-cut, so that's going to be 1 tab here, 2, oops, and 3, 1 again. First tab, oops, I I'll do a couple more so you can see how it lays once I open it. I'm just tearing up a few here. Just so I can progress a bit quicker. All right, so now this one needs 4. Oh, I put that one a little too close. It's okay. Obviously, if the little tape in between bothers you, then don't do this method. You can also make the tabs a lot smaller. I honestly don't care because I cover all these pieces of paper when I'm doing journaling. Maybe I'll put photos and add other things on there. So I'm going to use this particular journal for more scrapbooking rather than collages or like a writing journal. Now this one, 3 tabs. And you may have less tabs than me or more depending on how big your paper is. I did go a bit long with the pieces of tape, but it's all good. Sorry that my nails aren't done, but I've been a little too busy and tired. And I've been working with my hands a lot, and I don't just, they keep getting destroyed. Okay, so maybe don't do this if you are a very little sleep. I was going to do this time lapse, but I only have a few sheets left. I didn't want to make it so thick only because when you're scrapbooking, you start adding more pages and pictures and things like that. So I thought, you know what? Let's keep it pretty thin here. Afterwards, we'll see how many sheets I have. I smashed my finger the other day and my thumb is all bruised up still. You know, afterwards, if you really want to line up this paper and make sure it's straight, I know that some of my cuts were a bit rough there. You can go ahead and cut it after they're all together. I honestly don't know how the top got so uneven. Well, I guess because I used a blade. I should honestly get an industrial like paper cutter. Only if I continue making these projects, definitely. Okay, so I'm on my final paper here. Now the last one, I'm not going to put any tabs since I'm done. This is going to be the cover. Awesome. Now we have this paper. I think I want to, I don't know if I'm going to even out the edges here. No, it's fine. As long as it looks good here. Look at that. Okay, so I think, I don't know if I want to add a bookmark. Because I would have to add it now. Put it in here. Let me see if I have something that goes with this. If not, because I know this is kind of thick. Yeah, this is a bit too thick, and it's also not long enough. And I really don't want to patch it up. I'm trying to think. I have so much stuff that I can use. So give me 1 second. I couldn't find something similar to this here, so I thought I would take off one of them from another journal that I have. I have some journals that have 2 of these, and I honestly always just use one. So I figured, you know what? Let's put this in here. It's long enough, which is nice. I already have the glue gun on. So I'm just going to secure it. Let's see. Adorable. All right, so now the fun part is finishing this up. And it's okay if the spine of this is going to be slightly thicker than the paper here, because once I start filling this up, this is going to become wider. And honestly, this is actually perfect for that spine. It's not too thin, not too thick. Now, what you could do is bring all of this in the middle and glue it down. You can bind this normally. I don't have anything to bind books with or sew this together or anything like that, or to put it here. And the kind of thing that I'm going for is not a perfectly bound book. I am going to paste this down on this side, as I stated, and then this is going to be here. And then we have all of this in between. I need to glue this one down. All right, let's get this done, shall we? Just a reminder, you can also put a lot more tabs in between, smaller tabs, and then you won't have any of these gaps. Again, ideally, we would have done that on this one here. So we're technically layering this up when it isn't necessary, because that page that you put onto the actual cover should be the one with the first tab on it. I explained it earlier, but just in case. Let's clean up and then we'll chat for a little bit here. First, a little matcha. All right, well, I cleaned up. This is our final journal. If you want, you can always put information here as to who it belongs to or who it's for if you're making this for somebody else. I think this would make an amazing handmade gift. Obviously, yeah, you used a book cover, but still most of this is handmade. I absolutely love it, and I'm excited to fill it up with images, pictures. I want to actually create a scrapbook that is more like every day, like every single day. Just today, right, I made my matcha and I came across this little bee in my studio, and I think capturing those little moments, obviously they make up your life, those tiny little moments that you don't really think about in 40 years, but I think recording it here would be really special. And I can add pictures, I can do watercolor because this is drawing paper. Another thing, when it comes to this paper that you choose, make sure that it's archival, acid-free, just because that will ensure the longevity of the actual paper. It won't become yellow after time. It will last a really, really long time. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if you want to try this out. I will see you very soon.